So, to me, I don't think women that are 42 that have never been married or been in a relationship could come out and be talking about relationship, giving advice to women, and we have women foolishly listening to these women. So we have Melissa Ford. I do speak about this woman a lot, but it's because she's too grown to be a dummy. That's why I speak on her. That's the only reason why I speak on her, because she's too grown, too musky, all the stretch marks in the world to be acting foolish. To be acting foolish. I should not be calling out a 42-year-old. Someone that's 20 plus years older than me, I cannot be calling you out. Especially on relationships. Like, you should know this by now at 42. You shouldn't still be slow. I was about to say something. I was about to say the R word, sorry. But you shouldn't be slow. You should not be fast, loose. You should not be unsettled. Like, you should not be outside dating at 42, 50. Like, what did you do with your life that you were still out here dating at 42? Like, you never took a relationship serious enough to settle down and find a woman to mate with and get married. But nah, they won't come out here and talk about relationship advice. And we have Melissa Ford listening to this woman. She had her on a podcast. So I'm like, two single women in their 40s on a podcast talking about relationships and how women and all this whatever relationship advice they're giving. And both of them are not ugly. They still look kept up because they have money. If they didn't have money, they would not look good at 40. So let's get that right. Both of them make decent amount of money, so that's why they could look the way they look at 40 something. Because Melissa Ford was on Ozempic. You need money to have Ozempic. Ozempic's like $1,000 a month, so that's 12K right there just for Ozempic. So she had that money to use Ozempic to lose weight. That's why she looks good at 40 something, almost 50. So you got to know that if you don't have those type of drugs and those type of money, you might not look like these people look at 40. So you got to understand that you're not ugly. You just don't have enough money. That's it. So yeah, I was watching a video on YouTube, and then I guess Paul Pierce or whatever had Dr. Cheyenne Bryant on his podcast talking about relationships or whatever. He asked her, "Why are you still single at 42, whatever?" And she could not answer. She basically said she was getting ran through, or she had a side piece, or was in fornication, or was had a sneaky link or a situationship or whatever at 42. This is a therapist. A therapist should know better. Like, you should know that you could still get an STD at 42. You should know that you might be able to reproduce at 42. You might have a child out of wedlock. But that didn't compute in their minds at 40. That's what I mean. A woman that's above 25, 30 years old and doesn't know the Lord and is not following the Lord vigilantly, I can say that word, vigilantly, okay, vigilantly following the Lord, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag, because at 30, you should be like changing your mindset. Oh, I probably should not be in relationships that are not leading to long-term or leading to marriages. I probably should not be in that relationship. But no, they will be in that relationship, fornicating, doing all the nasty stuff they be doing, and then be mad at men that they cannot settle down and find a spouse. But at 40, instead of you being abstinent and waiting for the Lord to provide you a spouse, if you want a spouse, no, I have a situationship. I have a guy that I'm speaking to on the low. We've been in a relationship for 5 years, on and off. That means we'll be having sex, and then when the guy gets in a relationship, or the woman, if I find a man that is, I guess, husband material, and we start dating or whatever, and then no, it didn't work out because I went to go cheat on my current boyfriend with someone that I've been having sex with on this situationship thing, and then the relationship doesn't work, and now they're back together, and then they do it over and over and over and over and over for 5 years. So to me, it's like y'all gotta, woman, you guys have to wise up, because if you don't wise up, you're gonna burn in hell. You're gonna burn in hell because God has given you grace for at least 30 years. That past, I think, past the age of 18, you don't really have an excuse. Past 18, you should know better. Past 18, you should know better. But I'm sure God is gonna give you grace to 30. Past 30, you should know better. Past 30, 40, you don't know better, you might be on your way to an early grave, because God has given you 20, 30 years to fix yourself, to find Him. But you still decide not to find Him and do it your way. And your way is going to lead you into damnation. This is not to shame women at 40 or 50 years old, but it's like you got to know better. At 40, 50, you should not be fornicating. You should not be in adultery or in lust, in situationships, sneaky links, all this type of things. You should not be in it. But if you're still in it, God is giving you grace because you just watched this video. It's a way to change your life, because God might use me to help you if you listen. If you don't want to listen, then it's all on you, because at the end of the day, I'm going to go face God for myself, and you got to go face God for yourself. So if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you follow the commandments, that is on you. You're going to have to answer to Him, not me.